In the depth of every heart there is a tomb and a dungeon, though the lights and music and revelry above may cause us to forget their existence, and the buried ones or prisoners whom they hide. But sometimes, and oftenest at midnight, these dark receptacles are flung wide open. In an hour like this, when the mind has a passive sensibility, but no active strength, when the imagination is a mirror, imparting vividness to all ideas, without the power of selecting or controlling them, then pray that your griefs may slumber, and the brotherhood of remorse not break their chain. It is too late. A funeral train comes gliding by your bed, in which passion and feeling assume bodily shape, and things of the mind become dire specters to the eye. There is your earliest sorrow, a pale young mourner, wearing a sister's likeness to first love, sadly beautiful, with a hallowed sweetness in her melancholy features, and a grace in the flow of her sable robe. Next appears a shade of ruined loveliness, with dust among her golden hair, and her bright garments all faded and defaced, stealing from your glance with drooping head, as fearful of reproach. She was your fondest hope, but a delusive one, so call her disappointment now. A sterner form succeeds, with a brow of wrinkles, a look and gesture of iron authority. There is no name for him unless it be fatality, an emblem of the evil influence that rules your fortunes, a demon to whom you subjected yourself by some error at the outset of life, and were bound his slave forever by once obeying him. See, those fiendish lineaments graven on the darkness, the withered lip of scorn, the mockery of that living eye, the pointed finger touching the sore place in your heart. Do you remember any act of enormous folly at which you would blush, even in the remotest cavern of the earth? Then recognize your shame. Pass, wretched band. Well for the wakeful one, if riotously miserable. A fiercer tribe do not surround him, the devils of a guilty heart that holds its hell within itself. What if remorse should assume the features of an injured friend? What if the fiend should come in woman's garments, with a pale beauty amid sin and desolation, and lie down by your side? What if he should stand at your bed's foot in the likeness of a corpse, with a bloody stain upon the shroud? Sufficient without such guilt is this nightmare of the soul, this heavy, heavy sinking of the spirits, this wintry gloom about the heart, this indistinct horror of the mind, blending itself with the darkness of the chamber. By a desperate effort you start upright, breaking from a sort of conscious sleep, and gazing wildly round the bed, as if the fiends were anywhere but in your haunted mind. The same moment the slumbering embers on the hearth send forth a gleam which palely illuminate the whole outer room, and flickers through the door of the bedchamber, but cannot quite dispel its obscurity. Your eye searches for whatever may remind you of the living world. With eager minuteness you take note of the table near the fireplace, the book with an ivory knife between its leaves, the unfolded letter, the hat, and the fallen glove. Soon the flame vanishes, and with it the whole scene is gone, though its image remains an instant in your mind's eye when darkness has swallowed the reality. Throughout the chamber there is the same obscurity as before, but not the same gloom within your breast. As your head falls back upon the pillow you think, in a whisper be it spoken, how pleasant in these night solitudes would be the rise and fall of a softer breathing than your own.